Taking no shorts. Coming right up.
We talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice.
Now I gotta talk, we all gotta be quiet. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding.
I'm a man, I'm 40.
And now your host, Taking No Shorts podcast, Jay Grizzy.
Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Welcome to Taking No Shorts podcast, episode 107. I am your host, Jay Grizzy Green, a.k.a. Mr. Leave No Meat on the Bone.
Exactly.
A.k.a. Wanda's son.
Exactly.
A.k.a. Jenny's grandson.
Exactly.
Had to hit y'all with those a.k.a.s tonight because in the month of September, and the next week is my mom's birthday. God bless you, Mom. That's easy. I got my homeboy coming in. His mom. I found out our moms got birthdays close together, so the homeboy Tim, light skinned Alpo, will be in the building. So if you were living under a rock, and don't know what's been going on in the world, whether you get your news through social media, traditional means, or whatever, I'm here to let you know tonight's episode may and may not go down that route. And because I am the host, producer, owner, showrunner, however you want to call it, this in my channel, and I'm going to say what I want to say. And but I do understand that with words, you have to, or a platform, you could choose to be irresponsible,
Exactly.
or you can choose to be not responsible or responsible.
Exactly.
And I'm choosing not to tonight put any more fire or gasoline on the fire that is raging within the country right now. I will talk about it in a historical perspective because I'm a history major. Did not get a B. What is it? A B, Bachelor's of Arts of History, Bachelor of Science of History, or whatever. But I do know Pinot Noir anyway. But yeah, this is if you on your timeline, there's a lot of content creators that love. See, if y'all can see, I was on this earth before all this social media and this internet and this ooh wee look at me type shit, right? So this forum or this podcast for me was about my creativity and me having fun, me, getting my version of comedy out in this way and just hanging out, I'm not on that other stuff. And trust me, and I'm going to talk about because my homeboy Marcus J, shout out to Marcus J,
Exactly.
reminded me last week that it's our anniversary of a previous show, and we called it Internet Radio back in 2011, but it was called The Green Room with Jay Grizzy Green. And shout out to Carlton, shout out to Marcus J and everybody that helped put that together. Also Tim Casey as well. But yeah, and that was sports. So I was in it in the bottom floor getting into this social media podcasting, content creating space back in 2011. And I've seen it do a lot of things, and I can tell you this, and I don't want to, I'm a Gen Xer, you dig?
Exactly.
So yes, you can come up under the comments and be like, oh, you sound like an old man. And back in your day, we used to walk 3 feet, in the, 3 miles in the snow and all that. I'm that guy now. I understand that. But there's something to say for when the boomers and the World War II generation was giving me those speeches. And I was that young cat that some of these youngins is blowing that off, But as I got older, now I'm at a stage in life where I can appreciate that. And hopefully you young folks will get to a stage in life. But I guess you all are frustrated is a very, very kind way of saying that y'all fitting to be fed up. And I've told everybody who asks me my thoughts on the circumstances of the country. And it's difficult to express unless you're in tune with the young folk, you know?
Exactly.
I ain't gonna try to do too many exactlies tonight. I'll find something else to hit y'all with. But you gotta listen to the young people. And I listen to my children. My children don't run me, so I know y'all gonna be up in the comments, you baby. Nah. I listen to them. I talk to them. I hear the stories, the things that they're experiencing. I don't sugarcoat the world to them. I don't let them know that everything is going to be sugar and spice and everything nice. And everybody is not good people. Everything, your friends are not your friends sometimes that you think, especially when you're young. Anyway, these young people are very, very, very frustrated. Way more frustrated than I was when I was 20 in my 20s or in my teens, in my college years, in my high. And partly, the mainstream media said it. Partly, the governor of the state where this all happened that said it. Like this social and this platform, I'm on. By the way, you can find Taking No Shorts at Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at the following streaming channels. Those channels at Taking No Shorts Pod. And then I don't know why Instagram I don't know why. It's weird because I can't go live on Instagram. And I checked my status and I said I'm good. But when I went to go live I went live on TikTok last week for the first time. Give me a round of applause for that. Thank you. I don't know how I pulled that off, but and it went smooth, And then I tried to go back tonight because tonight is an actual live. It's not pre-recorded or anything. Episode 107, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Taking No Shorts Pod at Jay Grizzo, JayGrizzo. Yeah, I don't know what if anybody's content creative, if Instagram took away your ability to go live, and I have no blocks, I'm not, I haven't broken any of their rules or copyrights or whatever, let me know so I can get that back, because I was trying to go back on it tonight and it just said kaputs, no. Anyway, young people are up to their ass with what, doctor's orders Pinot Noir. I got to guess. I mean, I think the previous, and I hate this, I don't like saying it, but the previous generations, when they say you've passed down like all kinds of shit to the younger generation, I think it has caught up with America. Like all the spending, all the borrowing, all the bullshittery, all the hypocrisy, all that, and then social media just puts everything, in an echo chamber and amplifies it. So that's all they get, and they frustrated, man. They're really upset, and that's got to be that's got to be addressed. That's got to be addressed. Like I said at the top of the show, if you're looking to get some content that helps stir up whatever feelings you got on the political spectrum, that's not the place, man. I'm not taking no shorts. And I know you would think the title, Taking No Shorts, this guy is going to rip, is going to be controversial and everything, that's for clicks. And I have a responsibility to myself and to the community. Like, I don't want to put no more gasoline on a fire. But at the same time, you got to speak truth. And speaking of which, I forgot I think it's Matthew Dowd, D-O-W-D. I think he's a lawyer, pundit, political pundit or something. He said something on MS, one of those news channels. I checked out of the news November 4th, 2024, and that's when it clicked for me. And if it clicked for me, I'm one of those Americans that I bought into it. You know, the American dream, work hard, do all that, blah, 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 blah. Even though I'm a person of color, a black man, I know what this country's history is. Again, I'm a history major, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the history and how if we don't learn, we repeat. It's an old adage, but it's true. And I think there was a learning gap purposely done in the country so that folks can repeat it, or I say a learning and caring gap within the country. So that has gotten us to where we are now. But I lost my, like the kids are very frustrated, and the young people, they're not children, they're young adults. And what do if you have nothing to look forward to, you've been bombarded with social media telling you whatever your echo chamber is. I hope my echo chamber is the fun party, sit back, have a drink, something, kicking it, that's my echo chamber. If you want to get on that echo chamber, hit me a hashtag exactly and share Taking No Shorts podcast. Show a little love around the world. You did?
Exactly.
But if you with that bullshit, you can miss me. You can miss me. And I will be quick to call out Matthew Dow. There we go. I'm getting back to it. They fired that man for talking the truth. Even though, with whoever, how many, I know that channel probably has less viewers. The major news outlets, I don't know the final numbers or what they call, Nielsen ratings and shit that they care about to get advertising and make money in that business. But I can tell you this, it's one less son of a gun that's paying attention to the bile that they're spitting out, the propaganda that they're spitting out, and the falsehoods that they're spitting out every single day. Every day, wrapped around a nice couple of get your penis hard commercials, wrapped around a little bit of Clorox or Downy commercials, whatever you would, whatever, and they can tailor the commercials for you now with these smart TVs. So I get a whole bunch of "Is your dick hard?" So I'm sorry, should be PG, but again, it's taking no short. Is your dick hard? And I'm like, come on, dude. Come on, man. I don't need those commercials. Anyway, getting back to the bad news. It's crazy times. Crazy times. And I know that folks are on their devices. I tell you how I found out all of this shit was happening. The one day I go in the office, right? I go in the office and the group chat is popping off, and some of the shit in my group chat is I'm one of those cats that's like, here we go, and y'all, this guy I'm speaking to exactly, you know who you are, man. So when I see you in the group chat going, I say,
a bullshit, a bullshit, a bullshit,
and then I'm like, I don't even pay it no mind because I know he on that bullshit, and so this comes across in my group chat, and I don't even click on it, look at it, or whatever. I'm just thinking it's
a bullshit, a bullshit, a bullshit.
But no, baby, it's not. It's not. So I get a moment. I'm again at work. Matter of fact, I was in the elevator, leaving, headed to the car. Click on. And what I saw, I was like, oh, shit. I was like, oh, shit. Okay. All right. I've seen a lot of things in my day. I've seen that before, especially in my neighborhood. So when I grew up, and yeah, that's what it was. And to some people, I was thinking about this today as I was coming up with what to talk about on the podcast. It's hard to ignore what is going on. And I got at the bottom on what I wanted to talk about tonight, but hopefully I'll get this out of the way so we can enjoy the rest of the podcast. You did. But you think about it, 9/11 was yesterday, 24 years. That is ingrained in my brain, you know? That is ingrained in my, oh, Mr. 33, okay, you're going to have to let me know. Mr. 3375? Jeff JT Thomas in the building giving me a shout out. What's up, brother? He'll be on the show soon. He hit me up. He was like, yo, man, I'm going to be on the pod. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I booked. We got the 19th, got a pod. 26th, got a pod. So after that, maybe Jeff, Mr. 3375. First of all, you got to tell me what. I think you told me where it came from, but I forgot. A lot of weed, a lot of alcohol over the years or the months. So. But no, I was thinking like in the last 25 years, you got to think about it. This country has had a lot of trauma. Now, the previous, 50 years, the trauma level that the country has experienced has not been the same. But since 9/11 was like a 10 trauma for the country, right? Yeah. Birthday, that's what it is. 3375, my guy, for sure. I get it, Jeff. That make you a Pisces? Yeah, I know it's Pisces season. It's really Virgo season. I don't know what season is Virgo season. I got my wife a Virgo. But then 9/11 happened. 6-7 years later, the economic collapse, the Great Recession happens, the housing boom bubble. And then the 2016, Obama comes in office to the minority of the country. That was some trauma there just by that man being elected president of the United States caused trauma to the minority of the country. And then 2016 happens, and now we're here. So in the last 25 years, there has been so much trauma, let alone, excuse me, and don't mean to belittle or miss anything, but the school shootings, Sandy Hook, Miami, Denver, Kentucky. I could name so friggin' many. Those are traumatic events to communities that happen. And I ain't gonna lie, I think Superstorm Sandy, I remember in 2012, we were sitting, it was 2 weeks, it was early November, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, ain't no way a friggin' hurricane can happen this on the East Coast, this high up in my lifetime, this late into the season. Oh, it was damn near it was in the fall. It was damn near the winter when that storm came up the Atlantic, made a left turn, and hit New Jersey, New York. And I was just like, what? So me as a historical kind of guy, I'm thinking like, yo, shit is happening that ain't never been happening before. Why? What is going on? Like the Marvin Gaye song say. And, you could go to the theoretical side, we're in the end times,
Exactly.
But I just know something. I just know this. This shit is crazy. And so for myself, I just start teaching my first of all, I'm one of those people that charity begins in the home. Before you can go out and help other people, you got to be able to help yourself and your immediate family. Then you can go out and help the community. Then you can go out and help the wider community. That's how you get credibility with me. But if you out here doing something and your family ain't shit, you don't, or if it comes out that you ain't shit to your family, it does nothing for me, So first thing I did was teach my sons, hey, the world ain't playing fair. Never was, especially to a black man. I got 3 black sons, 3 black men I raised. So here's the historical facts. Even though they're younger, oh, it's not like that, Dad. It's different now. Things are different now in your day. Obama became president. I said, yeah, all right. I'm here to tell you, like Prince said, there's something else. It's the afterworld.
Talking about practice.
Yeah.
Not a game,
Tell
not
him,
a
Bubba
game,
Chuck.
not a game. We talking about practice. Not a game.
Yeah, they thinking we talking about practice. I'm talking about the whole goddamn game. Okay? And the whole game is, yo, it ain't playing fair. Kendrick hit it on the spot. They're not like us. And when you do I saw a post online. I try to, again, I didn't grow up in this online scrolling generation. I'm a Gen Xer, you dig?
Exactly.
So I can separate the bullshit from the bullshit, if you know what I mean. But one of the memes was just like, how you gonna be mad at people fighting against saying something about racism or saying something about how you gonna be mad at the people who are protesting against tyranny? There is a side in America, and it makes me wonder if World War II ever was over with. Like, if you defeat Germany or the Axis powers in World War II, you can't say a lot of other words on the internet because they will flag your ass, and that's probably why I can't get on my Instagram. Probably, I don't know. But how is it that 70 years later it's back? It's not a no allegedly. How can it be back after our grandfathers and great grandfathers, whether it was mine that was peeling potatoes on a boat in the Pacific, my grandfather-in-law was out there fighting in the Pacific. If you served, you served. And that generation has, unfortunately, 70 years has passed. 70, 80 years have passed. 44, 24, 80 years have passed. So if you was a teenager landing on the beach in Normandy, hey, thank you, Craig. Hey, shout out to Sister Cree Moon. Appreciate you, sister. Love you, sis. See you soon coming on the pod. But if you had to have been, you're 98 years old if God gave you time on this rock around one sun of many suns in a universe around many universes. This is what, I don't think people comprehend and I watched that James Webb telescope, right? And it kicks back images and stuff like that. The kind of algorithm I get that. I follow NASA. I encourage everybody to follow NASA. And they send back images of this telescope, this inner space telescope, the James Webb, where it goes out and sends back images of universes galore, unknown. Not just planets, universes, our galaxies, unknown to us until now. And you think that this one little star, thank God it gives we're in a habitable zone of that star, hence why we here as human beings. Why you don't think that man trying to figure out how to get out of here? He's, for what it's worth. My point is this. I'm gonna get back to it. If Normandy was June 6, 1944, right? And if 2024 just passed, so that's 81 years ago. If you was 18 if you was a white man, because ain't want no brothers landing on the beach in Normandy, I can tell you that. If they was, they sent them out for fodder, probably. So that man, that white man that grew up loving America, segregated as it was, going out to fight Germany and the Axis powers for freedom and democracy. That man is 98, 99 years old right now, if he lived. So he ain't even got his marbles, probably, to know what's going on. He's shitting and pissing on himself. I mean, I'm being a bit bunch by saying that, but my point is that something has happened in that 80 years, not just on top of, because you just don't want to forget, like I said, we only 50, 60 years since Jim Crow was abolished, and it wasn't even abolished. So I'm thinking to myself, as a rational, historical thinking black man that's got some gumption and some sense about this shit ain't never died. This shit was always here, whether it was on top of the surface where everybody just, they boisterous and letting you know, we don't want to fuck with you, we don't want you here, we don't, this, that, and the third, or it's been underneath and been papered over or covered up. And so that's what I teach my sons, my 3 black men that I've raised, is don't get nothing twisted. Don't get it twisted. And always, what they say, stay frosted, be aware. Take care of you and yours, your community first. Then you can worry about everything else. Because you start going out here thinking about everything else and who doing what to win and how, and they not like us. That's a song that was a chart topper. It had everybody rocking to it. Kendrick, shout out to Kendrick.
Exactly.
They had the Suburbanites. They had the brothers, the sisters, the Beckys, and everybody. The Jesuses and the Jose's. Everybody saying they not like us. Who is they? Because I don't do pronouns. If you're this one, and look, this one Darren Mosquito is getting on my nerves. It's gonna fuck with me until I get it. Who is they? I'm gonna tell you tonight on Taking No Shorts. Come here, come close, come. I can't get all the way up into the camera, but that fucking mosquito is. They is the people that got the bread.
Exactly.
It ain't me. It's the people with the bread. And so it leads me to think, like, one of the 7 deadly sins is greed. And like, I ain't never think people could be so greedy. Like, I think the Mega Millions or whatever the jackpot was like 1.9 billion after taxes. You got thank you, Creed. Creed said it right. The 1%. And you got to think, Creed, what is 1% in America of 350 million? 35,000. That's still a lot of motherfuckers. 35,000 people out of 355 or 340 million Americans. That's not the adults. Let's say the babies. So let's say you take out the babies and, or whatever. Let's say 300 million people. 1% of 300 million is what? 30,000. If my math is correct. There are towns in America that's got 30,000 people living in it below check to check. But it's enough of people in America that's got 30,000 people in America that's got all the wealth. Not some, not a bit, not a piece, all the wealth. And I am a capitalist. I am not one of those people. Me and my oldest son used to get into it a lot, talking about, because he was a big Bernie fan. And I was just like, who's going to pay for all that shit? Because I'm sitting there buying property and making moves and paying capital gains and shit like that. So I'm thinking, like, yo, if that man come in and get a tax me 50%, I want my little piece of the pie. It did. But he was like, well, who's gonna pay for the health care and those debates with those young folks is tough, man, because you got to the imbalance is crazy, and it's hard for a Gen Xer.
Exactly.
I can tell you, ain't no retirement for us Gen Xers, the boomers. That's the last generation that's gonna have retirement. I can tell you that right now, unless you was smart and wise with your money when you was coming up, ain't gonna be that shit for you. I'd like to pause to take a moment to give a break. Shout out to wine. Whoever invented that shit, God. Oh Lord, it's the Black Scorpion. Okay, get into the chat. It's the Black Scorpion, ladies and gentlemen. I ain't even gonna say what his real name is because Lord knows who and what is looking for him. But I can't. He threw me off with that. That's such an inside joke. You got to definitely be one of the four horsemen from VCU in the early '90s. You dig?
Exactly.
Peace, bro. I will definitely. He hit me with a woo too. Hey man, you throwing me off the show. I appreciate it though. Rocking with the show. Give me your thoughts on the topic as I get back to it. Not a few, not a little bit. 1% of 300 million means 30,000 people got all the effing money, all the wealth. Money ain't wealth, by the way. Investments, long money, family money, familiar money, gold, shit like that. Like only 30,000 people. You think it's LeBron? You think it's Jordan? No. And I honestly, everything it's kind of it's coalescing for me. Trust me, I'm the guy, I'm the brother, I'm the black man that at the corporate event, you want me to sit there and kick it with you, Brendan and Karen. And I would be like, yeah, that does make sense. Like I'm that guy. I'm your neighbor that you want when I'm walking my dog and you wave. I'm not Carlton Banks now, because if this was other guests here, I would say other stuff. But you would want. I'm the brother that gonna bridge that gap for y'all. But if y'all lose me, then imagine who else y'all losing. And when I say y'all, again, I don't do pronouns.
Exactly.
I'm talking about white folk that mean well, white liberals that mean well, or liberals. I won't even put the race on it because I say liberals that mean well. I told somebody the other day, it ain't, not other day, but in around November 2024. This ain't our fight. I quickly will share the story when I came upon, shout out to Jaye.
Exactly.
With his puns, right? But did the ancestry thing and all that, found out that my third great grandmother is, appreciate you, the Scorpion.
Exactly.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. I will get to you. I will hit me. I got it in. I'll catch up with you later on the back down the road, brother. So did some research ancestrally, found out my maternal side is from Charles City County, Virginia, which is the hub in the middle of the Civil War, both the up the Peninsula campaign and the Petersburg campaign. If you're a historical person, they were right dab in the middle. So they went through two campaigns of the Union Army and the traitors, the insurrectionists, the Confederates, the hillbillies, the tobacco chewing. Let me stop. All right. Those they were right in the middle of that. Right. Each time when the Union Army was coming up the peninsula, they had to come through Charles City County. You come across, they were free blacks, by the way. That doesn't mean anything, by the way. Just because you said you was a free person of color in 1860 America meant shit down south. So let's be clear. Some folks say we got a little Indian in our family. That didn't mean shit. You was colored. You was black, and they was gonna treat you as such. They want you to go back to that, by the way. They want you to go to a different status, by the way. There are actual people getting signing bonuses right now to sign up for government agencies that want you to go back to a second-class citizen type status. In 2025. There are your neighbors, the people you work with. They say that department just got funding from Congress. They giving out $100,000 bonuses to sign up. Let me ask you, brothers or sisters out here that might be down on your economic situation, right? And if somebody came up and hit you and say, hey, yo, we going to give you 100 racks, $100,000 if you come do this for us, or come do this with us. What you saying? So they dangling the carrot, and who knows who's signing up. I don't know what type of background check is going down. Back to my great grandmother Nanny Atkins of Charles City County. Looked like a tough old bird, just like her great-great-granddaughter, Virginia Green, my grandmother. And she said stories. She passed this story down to a young man, her grandson. I want to say his last name definitely was Bowman, but I don't want to put his first name out there because his family is still out there. Nanny has long since. Nanny Atkins, by the way, lived to be 101, 100. She was born in 1855. She died in 1956. So she lived to be 101 years old. But she gave stories. She smoked a cob pipe. I get this story, by the way, from the Charles City Historical Foundation down in Charles City County. It's published. And they talked about where the Union Army came up and they treated the free people of color like contraband. Hey, we're going to take your house. It's wartime. Yo, you living here? I know you say you're free. You showing papers you free, but we need your house. Bullet holes riddled through the house, through the wood shacks or whatever they built back there. And in the essay or the column that they of her testimonial, what did they do? What did you all do? They said, what did you all do when the Yankees is what they say back then, when the Yankees was coming through? What they say, yo, we got out the way. That's not our fight. The people coming up there to fight, the people coming from Richmond. We here. We just trying to eat, live, survive. Y'all go ahead and do that. Y'all go ahead and do that over there though. Do that over there though. Why you gotta come and with us? That's just like yesterday, all these fake, well, I won't call them fake. They were not fake, but all these threats was phoned in to all these HBCUs. For what? What was that all about, America? Sound like Bernie Mac. I have no Bernie Mac impression, but when something happened out there, what that got to do with a HBCU out here. And it won't just one. Before you got all the facts. But let's say you don't go online. Again, I didn't go online until 5 o'clock that day and saw it. And I was like, oh shit. I didn't immediately, but I mean, I guess everybody gonna be in their feelings. Well, if y'all in y'all feelings, I guess what kind of feelings we supposed to be in? Somebody tell me for 405, 400, 16, 19. Huh? What kind of feelings we supposed to have? Oh, we not. I got it. I said I wasn't trying to go down that path, but we live in crazy times. So I had in my show notes over here that historical times, right? So I was trying to give some historical background to why we are living in the times that we're living in. Because if we don't, like the governor in that state said, we at an inflection. And it's not an inflection point. It's not just a specific, ain't just one day of the year or one day of 3 years or whatever. Like I said, ever since them planes hit those towers, September 11th, 24 years ago, America has been on some other stuff. I remember the internet when all you did was go on a messenger and say ASL, age, sex, and location. A messenger service, I think. I don't know. Black Planet, I don't know. And look at what it's turned into. For money. I'm not sitting here saying I'm all high and mighty. Not saying that. I'm just, look at what the internet has turned into. They fitting. I saw a YouTube that said the acceleration of AI in the next 5 years is going to be crazy. Like, that's why they get all these data centers. I know one of the things here in Richmond or in the surrounding areas is that they build in data centers like crazy because they're the engines of this AI. And in order to compute that much computing, who said, is that, I think, shout out to Cam.
Exactly.
The computer's Putin is what Cam said one time. I was like, yo, if that bug don't get out of my shot, that might be I'm a bit conspiratorial myself, so that might be a computer bug. That computer's Putin. But no, they saying that this AI is going to accelerate so much. It's tripling and quadrupling and quintupling down on this technology. And we only been in it since the 90s. 30 years. Here we are. What do you think that technology has done for us? Positive against the negative. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? It might have brought us a lot of jobs. It might have brought us a lot of money. It might have brought us a lot of wealth. A lot of, is it worth it? You can't keep you can't keep the populace from losing their brain and getting weapons and killing children. You don't want to do nothing about that as a society? Then you got, I forgot what the Supreme Court case was, to where got me clapping on the air. Money is considered free speech. I forgot the name of the case, so forgive me. But once that ruling came down from, again, big money interests, everything that everybody's paid for, everything is fugazi. That's what, I mean, if that's what they wanted to happen or want people to believe, it's working. Because I am one to sit here and tell the world through my podcast, Taking No Shorts, that everything in wrestling terms is a work.
Exactly.
Ain't nothing real no more. You can't believe nothing anybody say. There used to be a time Walter Cronkite could come on CBS and say, well, that's the way it is. Take his glasses off of her. That's the way of the world, or that's the way it is on this day, blah, 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 blah. And you be like, yo, he just gave you the news. No slant, no commentary. Now you got talking heads going back and forth, commentary, this, that. People get sued for lying on the air to the populace for, I think it was like more than $500 billion. That network got sued. They still on the air, propagating, doing it. People consuming it too. Why you think they still on the air? If you stop watching it, they won't put it out. So it's just a loop feeding itself. And America is eating. It's like a snake. I'm gonna get this damn mosquito. I think it's a snake eating its own tail. That's America. You know, I don't want it to be that way. I'm sure it's not like my ancestors had a choice for it to be that way. But we are where we are. And it's up to us. Shout out to the homeboy Smurf out in Indonesia. Same situation. Some young people not having it. He said, man, he sent me a text. And I was just like, yo, Smurf, I see the young people out there not playing neither. Nepal, I know these are different type of countries where they don't have the same infrastructure and the same setup like America, but yo, it's not to say that it can't happen here. And I am not for any violence, not near piece of it. I'm a peaceful guy. I'm a peaceful man. I stayed it out for the earth. If you come over here looking for some extreme talk or some clickbait for you to reshare, I'm good. I don't need to do that to blow up my podcast. I do this because I like it. If it happens, if y'all actually want to rock with it, I appreciate it. So let's shout out to the Black Scorpion, shout out to Creed, shout out to Mr. 3375. I do this because I enjoy it. Out of love. I got love in my heart. I still got love in my heart for the world. And I was telling God is love, man. And so a lot of people are out here ain't claiming to be Christians or claiming to be God, people of God, and ain't doing nothing like it just lets me know that everything is fugazi. Moving on. Now, this is going to be a little bit, this might be controversial, but I got to talk about it because I'm a big fan of Carmelo Anthony, right?
Exactly.
New York Knicks fan since 1994. So that's 30 years of my Knick fandom. He was inducted. I got to get that right. Inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame, I want to say last week. And he had a speech. He had his 2 kids with him. And he was very reflective, like most Hall of Fame speeches is. And he had a lot of people to thank. Carmelo's younger than me. I think he might be 10, 15. He might be 10 years younger than me. I think he came out of Syracuse in like 03. So 13. I came out in 94. No, that's 10. Yeah, 10 years. And so there was this post on social media I saw, or response, or reaction is what they call reaction videos. To it was a sister. It was like, oh, he doing Lala dirty. He thanked his children, but didn't thank Lala, and this and that. And there was a lot of reaction in the comments. And sometimes I react and I don't comment. I react to myself. That's the thing. You don't have to. This is the taking those shorts is my way of reacting a comment and on shit I see sometimes on social media. And I was just like, some of the people was using the lyric from, I think the song was, "You wasn't with him shooting in the gym." And, why you got to bring Lala into this? And I'm like, yo, this is my take on the comment saying he did Lala dirty, right? That man moved on. And 9 times out of 10, Lala done moved on. So why the F is you in these people comments talking about he did somebody dirty, you old bitter ass? Come on. Like, I think what happens in these instances is that people see celebrities and they want them to be they want to identify with these celebrities and these celebrities' lives. And these celebrities know it and they take advantage of it. Thank you. She won't with him shooting at the gym. Thank you. So I don't get why this sister was going hard, because Mello thanked his children. And I'm not quoting per se, but I'm saying he's a better man because of his children. Of course, he can't have the kids by himself. So if she was saying, yo, you need to thank Lala too, okay, he should have did that. That I'll say, I would like to thank Lala for helping me, because I thank all of my children's moms. Thank you. Without you, I would not be a father and would not have my children. That's where it stops. If I'm accepting an award for me balling on the basketball court, what does that have to do with Lala? I could be salacious and say Honey Nut Cheerios and all that, but I did go there. But congratulations to Mello. Well deserved, brother. They did not do you right in New York when you was there, man. They gave you a bunch of they did you like LeBron. They gave you like, it was Mello and 5 dudes from Rucker from the Rucker Park. Let me re-up on my wine, y'all. Here in VA, we got a governor's race. If you live in Virginia, make sure you check your voter registration status. Because they be playing funny. You never know in these days and times. Like, you could go, I remember one year, one presidential election, not the last one. I want to say it was 2020. And my sister called and was like, yo, they told me I had to fill out a absentee ballot. And she's been living in her precinct area for a good 15, 20 years. And they said she wasn't on it. That was 2016, I think. I was like, yeah, that's kind of, things can happen. Mistakes can happen. Clerical errors can happen. But not to me, it can't. And I remember in the last election, they had these poll watchers. And I've been voting in my precinct for so long. I know everybody, just about everybody and their neighbors in the community. But I was seeing some real sketchy sons of guns up in there. And I was just like, yo, who is this guy? And he couldn't, you could tell people that, I'm trying to find the right way, because I am trying to be a professional on the air. But people that don't F with you, they can't even look you in the eye. If you say, like, down south, everybody used to give it. I remember when I moved up north, And first week, I'm getting on the train. I'm head nodding to everybody, and people looking at me like, "Fuck is you head nodding for?" Like, you don't speak to everybody down south. That's a thing, you know. You wave, you nod, you give a head nod, and if the person don't do it back, that's letting you know, oh, you ain't cool. You ain't effing with me. You know what I mean? Very, I don't know, but that's called traditional down past Baltimore, maybe. But yeah, Virginia's got a gubernatorial race. We have Abigail Spanberger, who is the Democratic candidate for governor, congresswoman, 2 times. She used to be my congresswoman. Then they gerrymandered. There's another one.
Exactly.
A bullshit.
There's another one. I ain't getting into the gerrymandering. That's too big of a word for some folks. But against Winsome Sears. Don't know what the polls say. I don't give a what the polls say. Get out and vote. Period. End of story. The reason why we're in this situation right now is because too many people said my vote don't count. Now, I know I said earlier, like everything is fugazi. I know I said that, right? But the way you change it is by exercising your right to put people in that will unfugate shit. Hopefully, is I have to say hopefully, right?
Exactly.
Because who knows? You could vote somebody into office. They could get power corrupts power. Absolutely, absolute power. It's some saying where power corrupts absolutely, or some shit like that. You know, if I get into a position and it's I got lobbyists paying me money and I'm getting all kinds of perks. I'm getting Epstein massages. I'm on lists and shit. I'm full of myself. I know. I used to be one. No. Easy. Them people don't. You get a good person, a good moral person of good character, get in one of these positions. You got to hold them accountable. Quick story before I wrap up tonight. It's not even a story. It's back to the historical shit, right? If you look up the French Revolution, now this was in the 1700s, right? Where they had King Louis the 16th or the 15th, one of them kings. France was ruled by kings. You had people like us, the middle, not even the middle class, peons, that was working the land, weren't slaves, but you didn't own anything, but you just worked the land. They give you some, throw some meat, you might not get me. I don't know what the fuck they did back in those times in France, but thank you, Scorpion. Hit him with the shot E. I don't even know what the shot E means. You gotta let me do it. But absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. That is correct, sir. You are correct, sir.
Exactly.
But the French in the 1700s, when the aristocracy, like the kings and the dukes and the earls and the people that had the 1% that was getting all the riches from the people that was tilling the soil, catching bubonic plague in the ass and shit, fucking with cows and I don't know. But the people that was on the low end of the spectrum that was producing all this wealth, right? For the king, the queen, I think the queen was King Louis and King Louis the 14th wife. I'm looking it up, guys. Marie Antoinette. Yep. She was the equivalent to, I'm trying to think who's a bad chick that they want to give royalty to. here in America. Some Karen, some who they want to. She was. Y'all know who I'm talking about. That's who she is. MT, chick with the squinty eyes that's married to that guy, allegedly. Where her papers at, by the way? She's the equivalent to that, right? So that's this upper echelon, and then they got the, you know what the French did? Because I know some of y'all folks don't do the education thing, don't do the history thing. I don't blame you. So it's a real snap type society we live in now. If it ain't on the fingertips, if it don't make sense, if it don't make money, I ain't fucking with it. I'm just taking no shorts and telling you from my perspective down that I got your ear. So them people, them French people, the people that was tilling the soil, working the land, passing all the riches up, them people got fed the fuck up. And guess what they did? And the French was a powerful nation. Matter of fact, they were so powerful, they owned half of America, called the Louisiana Purchase. That's how you got New Orleans, St. Louis, you know, Shreveport, Baton Rouge, you know. That's how you got all that shit. The French owned that. The hard-working people of France created that wealth for them people, and them people had a piece of America. But the French said, you know what? We can't have this shit no more. We can't. We too tired of living like slaves. We too tired of this, and we gonna have a fucking revolution. And guess what they did? Back then, in the 1700s France, the method of capital punishment was the guillotine. Shai, the Shatorta. That's what that was. Off with your head. They run up into the palace. I think it was the Palace of Versailles, some palace in Paris. They pull the king out, King Louis, Marie Antoinette, all them peoples, and in the courtyard, dragged them out. Military was with them. Because see, the military people think, and I don't, because I never served. So I can't talk about the military in that type of way. But I hear a lot of people that have served, active and not active, they don't like this shit. So they think that they can bogart a lot of stuff. Anyway, the French pulled them people out their house, put them in the courtyard, strung them up, and cut off their head. That was 250, 300 years ago. Not a lot of time. But that's how they did it back then. That's because they were starving people. The 1% was getting all the riches, and the people that was actually doing the work, it's not, and people think like poor people or people, middle class people want handouts and shit. That's not it. Like, they just want fairness. And if you say that, like I tell my kids, life ain't fair, then just shit ain't fair. It's no rules. You got to get it how you live. Then that's how it is. But don't sit there and tell everybody you can get a piece of this American dream. And then when they is out here trying their best, these young folks are out here trying their best to get a piece of this American dream, and they can't get a morsel of this shit. And then on top of that, you put everybody against one another to make sure you can keep your little measly hands on your little 1% of the wealth. 30,000 people. Probably 30,000 million and billionaires in the country. I too want to be a billionaire. To be quite honest. A millionaire, billionaire. I'm a capitalist. But what I ain't gonna co-sign, I think it's almost like Mark Cuban, right? That man's rich, but he spoke out during the election against bullshit. Like he didn't have to. He probably is shunned at country clubs and shit like that. I think he sold the stakes in his NBA team, the Dallas Mavericks, to a supporter of the other side. They abruptly traded the foreigner,
Exactly.
Luka Doncic, to LA, but So you can get money and be a decent human being. There's nothing. Who said getting money meant you had to be an ass fucking hole? Or Uncle Fucker. That's what I'm saying. Like, just because you get money don't mean that. So vote in the governor's race, November, Virginia. I'm not telling you who to vote for, but it's quite obvious. You know. Last, it's a fight tomorrow. I'm gonna get it. It's probably I'm sure that fight probably $100. The Canelo Alvarez Terrence Carter, Bud Carter fight. I think it's super middleweight. I think it's gonna be a good fight. I hope it goes the distance. I hope I get a couple of knockdowns. I just hope for an exciting fight. It's rare. Back when I was coming up, you remember we had fights. We had Mike Tyson. I know I'm Gen Xing right now, so allow me to do that.
Exactly.
But we had Mike Tyson fights. We had Sugar Ray Leonard fights. We had Marvin Hagler fights, just as at the burgeoning of cable. But you had fights you could get. Just brothers cracking me up. Yes, we're fighting for Barry Windham's belt.
Exactly.
he said, let me get it up here. We're fight. Y'all, look, he's fighting for the Western States Heritage Championship. You know the story behind that? Dusty Rhodes, when Mid-Atlantic or Crockett bought UWF, which is Mid-South, Oklahoma, Dallas, Louisiana, they created that title to kind of like integrate. You don't care, no, but they created the Western States Heritage Channel to integrate to that. So they just made up a title, gave it to Dusty and gave it to Wyndham, and then it disappeared. But back then, getting back to boxing, you throwing me off, bro. Try to imagine if I had a guest tonight. My wife she said, you doing this pod tonight? I said, yeah, I'm probably going to do some content for like an hour. She said, you never do an hour. And here I am, over an hour. Over an hour. So I appreciate you guys. On Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, make sure you like, share, subscribe anywhere where you find your favorite podcast around this time every Friday. You can catch it also on Instagram, IG, at JGrizzo, at Shaking No Shorts Pod. I will get to the bottom of the IG. I was supposed to go live on IG tonight, and it's not there. I don't know why. They said I do not have any account blocks. And so I'm baffled. Maybe the social media content creators, because of the recent news, has flooded the zone, and they're just like, yo, we can't have y'all out here inflame. And it's probably on both sides, to be fair. All I know, the side that I'm on is God's side. I don't play about my love of love. I don't play about that. If you got malice in your heart and that energy at my Gen X age, I got no time, none for it, no tolerance, no. And I'm one of those people, it's hard for me to tell anybody no. I had to learn that. But what I do know now at my wisdom, look at that, Gray. No, Dikembe Mutombo, rest in peace. No. None of that negative, evil, mean-spirited stuff. God is love. It's a spirit. It's an ethos, Like, and if you out here, especially at my age, and you still mad and still got anger and you can't resolve shit by just being an adult and talking and respecting human beings, then you gotta. That's not the internet. That you can't go to the internet to fix that shit. The internet, that echo chamber, your buddies or whoever you is in your group chat that you all could. I think it's like it's a circle jerk, right? these men mostly that I think that are like this, because most of the men are the ones doing all of it. I've never seen a woman go out here and shoot up a school. Okay? These are men, white men, going out and shooting up children in schools. It's a circle jerk. So if me and my homeboys are sitting at Taking No Short studio right now and we rapitation on something and everybody is agreeing on some stupid shit, right? Like, I'm thinking of somebody say, hey, the sun is hot. Let's all jump on it. And everybody's like, yeah, let's go jump on it. By the time it get to me, I'm going to be like,
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit.
That nigga's tripping.
exactly, Westbrook. I'm going to be like,
That nigga's tripping.
all day long. And somebody going to be like, well, wow, the group think says that we should jump on the sun. It's hot. I'd be like, y'all got to be out of y'all ever-loving minds. So I'm out of the group, but the rest of them, they is on some other ish. You know what I mean? And then they just find other people that are on it. That group, where the individuality at? Where's the thought, the love, the process, the understand? Like, where did y'all lose that at? I'm asking, but I'm asking for y'all to answer it to yourself, not for me, because I bring that around me. Okay? I touched just about a little bit of stuff tonight and not a lot. My wife is probably going to say, I heard you out here screaming. What you out here screaming about? And I could go on all night, guys, but I digress. I would like to thank everybody that's with the earshot of my voice or that can see me on these social internet airways, video waves, clip ways. I'll clip it up. I hope I'll put some out. I hope I'm looking over here because that's the main monitor, but I'm looking at you out here in the world. Hey, young world, young world, young world, young world. Young world. First of all, keep your head up. It's real easy. I'm just talking to young people, meaning if you're 25 and under, this is Jay Grizzly Gray, aka Mr. Lee, you know me on the bone. This coming to you. This end up on your timeline or whatever. This Uncle Jay, your cousin Jay, brother Jay, however. I want y'all to just hear me out real quick.
Exactly.
Shit can't never the glass is always half full, never half empty. The people that's telling you that your shit is half empty, they full of they already there. They just want to bring you into it so they can feel whole. When people are online in these chats, there's all kinds of chats now on Discord, X, Twitter, whatever they calling it now. Your echo chamber, you know, when they say, yeah, that if you othering other human beings, they not like us. They other, right? They doing that. They need you to glob with them, because if they don't glob, if they don't congregate, they out there solo looking stupid in the wind. That's how I grew up. That's how we grew up, right, Gen Xers, right?
Exactly.
People, we grew up with the Cosby Show as the #1 show on TV. A black man as an OBGYN, a black woman as a lawyer living in a rich neighborhood in Brooklyn in a brownstone, raising 3 kids. In the whole country watched. This was before they found out he was giving girls yeah, but the whole country made that show. It wasn't just black folk watching the Cosby Show in the 80s. Wasn't all black folk rocking with Mr. T at DC Cab in the 18? White America loved that shit. You was out in the wind alone on an island talking that crazy black people ain't shit, talking that racist stuff, talking that bull jive. You was out on an island. You were isolated. Some way, somehow, thanks to social media, some way that's just human nature. That's what the AI is saying. Okay, that's something for that ass. That's something for that ass. God got something for that ass. And with that, I'm gonna wrap up. For everybody that was on the live chat, I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Shout out real quick to a moment of silence for somebody I got to share. I found out he passed a couple weeks ago, Mr. Earl Riley. Give Earl his flowers. Earl passed away recently. He was a very important mentor to me in my life, growing up as a young black boy with not too many black men as father figures. Earl was employed by the Richmond City Recreation and Parks in my neighborhood, and he did the after school program when we had after school programs in the 80s, where we could go after school to the school that we went to, and we had sports programs, reading, all kinds of stuff that kids could do for a single parent. My mom was a single parent till my mom got home, pick us up. And so from 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, this man made sure I was safe, made me feel a part of something, whether it was sports, whether it was just as a young boy saying, hey, this is cool, this ain't cool, stuff like that. Taught me how to play ping pong, man.
Exactly.
Man. And was just a decent human being. Earl Riley gone too soon, too young. We gonna miss you. To his family, if they see this, I just wanted to, because when my family told me in my family chat that Earl had passed, and we all just immediately started sharing stories about how good a brother he was, and how it's very important when you got people that take an interest in young people in a positive way and influence them. You don't forget that. Teachers do that to a lot of folks. I bet you, everybody remembers their favorite teacher. And if you got a favorite teacher, you can put it in the chat either now or later on. And that teacher, whether she's here with us or she's out here in the universe, that's why she did the job. He or she did the job that she did, to make an impact, a positive impact upon you. So Earl, man, salute to you. You made a great impression on me. Gave me somebody to look up to, man, and rest easy. Job well done, brother. All right, y'all, until next time, I am Jay Grizzly Green. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. We'll be back next Friday, 8:45 p.m. Eastern. Peace.
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Now I gotta talk, we all gotta be quiet. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, gift stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
And now your host, Taking No Shorts podcast, Jay